Hey everyone, my name is Colin C. I am one part of the Crypto Boys, and we are bringing you crypto information every single day. Our channel's been going like crazy, and we appreciate that. Today, I've got a great video lined up for you all, and I'm jumping in our new studio, the Crypto Corner. We have another new studio coming after this, our podcast studio, so stay tuned for that. But let's get into the video. Today, I want to talk about ISO, IPO, ICO, IPP a little bit. I don't know what that means. I don't even know what's going on, but I am talking about three things that I haven't seen very much on YouTube, or I've seen some of it, but people are always asking me questions. And honestly, I was asking myself questions because I didn't understand what they meant. ISO or ISPO, ICO, and IPO, what do they mean? What's the big difference of them all? And what is ISPO doing for us right now? I'm going to go through each one of these in detail, so let's get rolling. Number one, we're going to start with probably the most famous one, right? IPO, the initial public offering. When you think of initial public offering, you're thinking of stocks. I get it, the stock market. This isn't a stock market channel. We're not near as well versed in the stock market as we are in the crypto, but it is something that I do feel is important for us to at least go over and chat with you all about. An IPO is simply a private company going public, where it's going to sell shares to the public to raise money. As they call it in the stock market, this company's going public. You've seen a lot of them happen over the last couple of years. You've seen Airbnb, some famous one. You've seen, DraftKings and some other companies like that have went from the private sector over to the public sector to not only get some clout and get some experience, but also raise money, obviously. Some issues with an initial public offering is that you don't really know if the stock price is too high, if it's too low. It's really just based on, kind of their cash flow at the time. And we're going to go over this a little bit more. But really, when you're buying in, you don't know as much. And also, the big corporations and the big time buyers, they already have their money. They already have their stocks. They already have a different IPO price. And typically, their buying has already happened. So you're not going to get as good as price as them anyways. So you're usually behind the ball even on these IPOs. Some of them can go up there. Obviously some of them can work really well. But typically, you're going to see that graph rise up to the top. And then you're going to see it probably crash some back down and then flatline. So then that's pretty much where the market demands. Just because there's a certain number of cash flow, certain money of balance in the bank account, that doesn't necessarily mean that's going to dictate price all the time. Good things can happen, bad things can happen, so you have to just take that. That's kind of an overview of initial public offering. Very quick, very, very simple to understand. Next, I want to go over an ICO. An ICO is an initial coin offering. So basically, an ICO with a little bit of differences is basically the IPO of the stock market, or an ICO is the IPO of the crypto market. A couple things about initial coin offering is that these can be even more risky because number one, it's very, very much unregulated. So you really don't know exactly what you're buying unless you've really done your research. And I mean really done your research. If you decide to just kind of throw your money at the wayside on every ICO that comes out, you're going to lose a lot of money. Because as I've said this before, Colin, I'm annoyed. Stop saying that. Okay, little Johnny, 1,700 coins in existence right now. 98% of them are going to zero. So you've got to figure out which 2% are the ones. An ICO is typically can be a little risky for you to jump in on. Why ICOs can be a little bit more risky than the IPOs is that there's no really true proven track record. They don't have to show or prove anything to anybody else. Anybody can really start an ICO for any reasons. There's tons of rug pulls out there. Go to Google and type in Google and say rug pull. 1,000 of them will come up. Just click on any links. But there are some very good things about ICOs, and I'm going to go over some similarities of the IPOs here in a second. But the good things about the ICOs is that they have utility, they have software, that these can grow, so your money can also grow. You're not just investing it into a stock where everything is on if Airbnb goes up or if the whole pandemic thing doesn't happen again. That's not what you're invested in. You're invested into an actual company with utility, with software that can make that company go up even higher versus just having all your eggs in one basket. So that is a great thing about an ICO. Another good thing about an ICO, well, I see it as a good thing, is that they're typically a little bit harder to find. So not everybody in the crypto space can buy them right away because you have to be on a certain exchange at a certain time. There's usually a limited amount. There's 3 different kinds of ICOs. I'm going to put it up on the screen right now so you can kind of choose and see which ones are which. Typically, though, they have a certain amount that they're going to sell for a certain price, and that's typically the ones you're going to see most often. Or you could have a bunch of celebrities that pile in all this, FOMO and all this FUD, and then they ramp up a price, and then they rug pull it from you. Kind of like my boy DJ Khaled, another one, and Floyd Money Mayweather did just a few years ago. What DJ Khaled and Floyd Money Mayweather did is they basically pumped a bunch of news about this Centra Tech, which after they're getting sued and all this stuff, ended up just being a total and complete scam, scamming people for millions and millions of dollars, and they had to settle out of court. So what that means is they had to throw a bunch of money at it. That's not the position you really want to be in because you're going to lose your money. Those are the bad ICOs, but there are some good ones. How about like this little one called, what do you call it, Colin? Oh, Ethereum or Ether, right? So when Ether first went to an ICO, initial coin offering, you know what they went for? A measly 31 cents. 31 cents. Think if you can buy Ethereum now for 31 cents. If you can, crypto's dead. It's in a barren wasteland, and my wife's going to kill me because we have no money. So I hope that doesn't happen, but obviously I'm joking. But if you had the chance to get at 31 cents, let me give you some facts here. If you put $100 into that ICO back in 2014 when Ether went live, your $100 right now would be worth $975,000. Yes, not doll hairs, but dollars. Yes, $975,000. That is a pretty good return on investment if you ask me. So ICOs can be a great thing as well. Okay, to wrap up a little bit of this before we get into ISPO, why we're kind of doing this video is I want some similarities between an IPO and an ICO. Real quick rundown. 3, 2, 1, let's roll. Number one, you can lose all your money invested. There's nothing to be said that these companies won't go to zero, especially if an ICO, but even an IPO, that it won't just die down. Nothing's really going to happen over the long term, and you really just don't know. It's still a risk. Number two, your price on an IPO or an ICO typically isn't all that good because most of the bigwigs have already been able to buy it before you. So your price is probably good, but it's not great. So don't ever think about yourself as being super, super special unless you're already super, super rich. In that case, you super, super don't care. What are some differences between the two? Because there are some differences. Number uno. Can I say number uno? Number uno. An IPO's set price is typically by the valuation of the company, their cash flow, and their future cash flow. So it's kind of has like a little bit of less chance to kind of just rug pull you and drop to the floor because there already is cash and they're showing it to the SEC. An ICO, you don't have to do that. So you can just kind of go out and do whatever you want. Hands in the air. I'm doing what I want to do. And they can set the price for whatever they want. Number two in differences is that there's utility. An ICO has utility like Ethereum right now that is growing because its utility is massive. There's not a stock that's going to run up ever again, or there never will be, has Ethereum and Ether have. Like that's insanity, right? Because Ethereum has been building and building and building, and that's why the crypto space is so lucrative, and that's why we're bringing these videos to you because of that utility and that software development right there. So those are two main differences between an IPO and an ICO, and two main similarities between them as well. Time to get into the new age of public offerings, right? Cardano, blockchain, proof of stake, this, that, and the ISPO. What is it? An initial stake pool offering. What does that even mean, Colin? Well, honestly, I didn't know at first either, so I'm going to break it down in elementary school grade level. Let's go. Basically, what you do is you're going to take your coins, you're going to put them in a pool, which just means you're going to take all of, let's just say Cardano, because that's what we're talking about here, the Cardano staking, is that you're going to take all your Cardano, or your ADA coins, and you're going to put them in a pool with a lot of other people just like you, not a bunch of super rich, savvy investors, but just a bunch of normal people putting their ADA together to allow the pool's managers or hosts or owners or whatever you want to call it to use them. They're going to use your coins. They're going to use your clout of these coins to then solve for a block on the blockchain, because once they do and they use your validation, which are your coins, and you get one validated, that means they get a good money chunk of reward based off of your coins, because they don't. Here's the thing. You don't have enough coins to stake them by yourself and validate them by yourself for it to really matter. Your chances of getting the sole block on the blockchain are like 0.0000. That way, everybody has a chance if you get into this pool. What these pools and the owners of these pools are essentially doing is they are simply just using your coins and your clout to then solve the block so then they get money. But what do you get? Let me show you. There are three main reasons why you should be staking your ADA or staking in general. Number one is your percentage gains. You're going to get between usually 4 to 6% of more tokens just for staking alone. And that's going to obviously add up over time. And on top of that, it's about 400% more than you're going to get in your bank account. Am I right? I'm right. Number two is random airdrops. Is that my buddy who did staking from the meld, which we'll go into in a little bit, he just got randomly airdropped about 60K, 60,000 doll hairs, real money. We'll go over that too. But he got $60,000 worth of meld airdrops just yesterday deposited because not many people are in on it yet. At least there's a very small majority of the crypto community actually getting in on it. So that's getting out these meld tokens or the utility tokens you're getting, and you're getting more of them. So these airdrops can just pop up and you can be like, dang, shorty rich now. Am I right? And number three, but it might be the most important part about staking and why you would want to do an ISPO, is because your money is always your money. The validators on the blockchain are simply just using it. They're just using your tokens to say, hey, I started this pool with a bunch of ADA tokens and I'm going to use them as if they're mine. So that's completely fine. You aren't staking them because you're getting all these, but you never actually give them up. They are always yours to use. You can take them out whenever you want. You can sell them whenever you want. You can trade them whenever you want. You can do whatever you want with them. As long as you're staked into that pool, then you're still going to be getting the rewards. And as soon as you're like, daddy's done with this crap, pull them, sell them. Cardano's at $6 and you're freaking fist pumping. Yeah, get them puppies out. Let's get them things sold and we can roll back in when we buy a bunch more. Quick overview. The three reasons why you would stake in an ISPO. Number one is going to be you're earning 4 to 6%, which is huge because you're already sitting there with it on exchange or in a wallet. You might as well make more money. Number two is that free crazy airdrops. A fighter pilot comes in out of the sky and boom, they're dropping care packages. You just got to go up and grab them. And finally, number three is you can take them whenever you want. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to give away your coins. Unlike an IPO or an ICO, if you give your money to those and it goes to zero, bye-bye to your money, it's gone. Not in an ISPO. Finally, what are the risks that run with an ISPO? In my opinion, very small, because I've actually already, and Joe as well, the crypto boys have already staked all of their ADA in Sundae Swap, which we suggest you do too. And again, this isn't financial advice. This is what we are doing. But again, if you want to get some free rewards, let's get them coins staked. The risks involved. Number one, if you pick a crappy wallet, it can be slow, it can be behind. You really don't know exactly who's running behind the wallet, so you've got to pick a good wallet. Nami, we do Yoroi. I know it's a little slow, and there's another good one out there that I don't know exactly what it's called, but those are the two main ones, and either of those, they'll work pretty well for you. Number two is that typically you are very early in the process. If you are doing this, you're early, you're smart, you're getting to it. The problem is early is volatility, and that means you're going to have to ride those waves as you go through this process. So if you're not ready to ride those waves, most people are who are in crypto, don't get me wrong, but if you're not ready to ride those waves, this may not be for you, and you may just want to keep your coins staked somewhere else and kind of keep it a little bit less of a risk. Number three, meld, or let's say your utility token that you get from staking from those airdrops. Like my buddy who got 240,000 meld tokens yesterday. Although it says it's worth about 60K in dollars, that doesn't mean you're just going to get 60K, because you still have to have a buyer to sell those tokens. So just because meld says, oh, hey, 4 meld tokens is worth 1 ADA token, that does not mean that you just go out on the market and sell it right away. If someone's willing to buy it, you absolutely can. And if meld, the actual project, ends up blasting off, if they have a bunch of use case behind it, then yes, it could. Same thing with Sundae Swap. Let's say all these Sundae Swap tokens I get from staking my Cardano via these wallets on a Sundae Swap pool. Let's say that happens, and let's say Sundae Swap goes under, it goes to crap, everything crashes, bugs everywhere. Well, then my Sundae Swap tokens are as good as the dirt underneath my feet. It ain't worth nothing. Am I right? So there is still potential that they go to zero, but that's why you stake in a good pool. That's why you stake in with good companies and honestly, people that you trust in, like anything else. So that is the basis between an IPO, an ICO, and an ISPO. The ISPO is brand new concept. They just kind of came out with it. A very cool concept where you still get to keep your money. And I think it's worth doing a video on because it's important that you guys know these things on how to make money and how to continually make money in your crypto journey. This is just another thing to put kind of a notch in your belt to be able to keep moving forward. All right, if you guys got anything from this video, it'd be awesome if you liked and subscribed. As I always say, if we haven't earned your subscription yet, the Crypto Boys will do so. Please drop a comment, ask any questions. We get back to everybody, pretty much everybody, I'll say. And as always, guys, we appreciate you being with the fittest crypto channel on YouTube. I'm out.